All right, let's talk about something huge for anyone in the SAP world. If you're making the jump to S/4HANA, there's one conversion you can't sidestep. I'm talking about credit management. It's a mandatory, non-negotiable switch from that old-school ECC version to the shiny new S/4HANA Financial Supply Chain Management module. So let's get right into it.
So let me just ask you straight up, as you're mapping out that big move, what's your game plan for credit management? Because let's be clear, this isn't some optional feature you can get to later. No, this is a core fundamental shift, and you've got to have a solid plan in place. And here's the deal, here's why you have to pay attention. That classic credit management module, FIN-FSCM-CR, it's just gone in S/4HANA. It's obsolete, kaput. SAP's documentation couldn't be clearer on this. If you were using the old one, moving to the new SAP Credit Management, FIN-FSCM-CR is 100% mandatory. No ifs, ands, or buts. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down for you. We'll look at why this change is mandatory, compare the old system versus the new one, walk through the 3 big phases of the conversion, point out the key migration tasks you have to do, and then, the fun part, what life is like after the conversion.
All right, first things first. Why is this mandatory? Why is SAP forcing this change? Well, it's because this is way more than just a simple technical update. We're talking about a complete strategic shift in how credit management should even work in today's business world.
And I love this analogy because it just hits the nail on the head. Think of the old classic ECC module like one of those old school feature phones, a Nokia. It did one job, it was reliable, but that was it. It was stuck inside its own little FI system. The new S/4HANA version, that's your smartphone. It's a whole integrated platform that connects to everything, multiple SAP systems, even non-SAP systems, giving you this amazing, complete picture of credit risk.
Okay, so let's stick with that smartphone idea and really dig into what's changed under the hood. Understanding these core architectural differences is honestly the key to seeing why this migration is such a massive leap forward.
So what's the big deal here? Well, the whole foundation has changed. We're moving away from the old SAP customer model to the much more flexible SAP Business Partner, or BP. This is huge because it lets the new system work across a distributed landscape, pulling in data from all over the place. It's designed to play nice with others, using XML to talk to external credit agencies and other systems. And maybe the best part? It introduces this incredibly powerful credit rules engine, which is a total game changer for automating your scoring and limits.
Okay, for all the tech experts out there, this slide is for you. It's basically the Rosetta Stone for this conversion. You can see exactly where the old data goes. That classic credit data from tables like KNKK and KNKA, it's all moving over to the new business partner table UKM-BP CMS. And things like your credit reps, which used to live in T024B, are now handled through BP relationships in BUT050. The main takeaway here is that this is not a simple copy-paste job. It's a fundamental move to a whole new and, frankly, much better data model.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now for the big one, the how. The whole conversion process really boils down to a pretty straightforward 3-phase roadmap.
And here they are, the 3 main stages you're going to go through. First up is all the technical prep, getting the system ready. Then, phase 2 is migrating your customizing, all your business rules. And finally, phase 3 is the main event, migrating the actual data. We're going to dive into the must-do tasks for each of these.
This image really captures the whole point of this. This isn't just about ticking a box on a project plan. It's a journey. You're going from this walled-off internal function to a smart, globally integrated system that can actually help you protect and grow your business. It's a huge deal. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. For the next few minutes, we're going to focus only on the mandatory, must-do tasks that SAP lays out. These are the absolute non-negotiables for this to work.
So in phase 1, it's all about setting the stage. You've got to configure the SOAP runtime so your systems can talk to each other. You need to activate the secure HTTPS port and make sure your logical systems are all set up right. A really big one is setting up the Adobe Document Server. You'll need that for the new documented credit decisions feature. And of course, you have to activate that special business partner role for credit management. Get these done and you're on your way.
All right, on to phase 2. This is where you move your business rules over. You'll be using migration tools to bring your old customizing into the new FSCM world. You'll have to double-check and define some settings for the migration and for the new functions. And here's a pro tip.
SAP really wants you to activate the BCS set for documented credit decisions. It's basically a prepackaged kit that's going to save you a ton of headaches and manual work.
Now hold on, before we jump into the final phase, I really need to hammer this point home. The order you do things in is critical, especially for the data migration part. SAP's official guide is super clear about this. You have to follow the steps in the exact order they give you. Don't get creative here, or you're going to run into problems. And this is that sequence for Phase 3. Step 1, you migrate your master data, all those credit profiles now tied to business partners. Step 2, you migrate the credit exposure data, all the open items. Step 3, you initialize the documented credit decisions based on that data. And the final step, number 4, you reconcile everything to make sure it all adds up perfectly.
Okay, so you've done all the hard work. You made it through the migration. Now, for the payoff. What do you actually get out of all this? This is where things get really exciting, and you see the true strategic power of the new system.
And this quote from the SAP community just says it all, doesn't it? The single biggest win is automation, a much higher degree of it. The system can now automatically figure out credit scores, assign risk classes, and even suggest credit limits, all based on the rules you set up. Just think about that. It frees up your credit team to focus on the tricky stuff, the real exceptions, instead of just grinding through routine work.
So, let's look at the new toolkit you get. You've got that powerful credit rules engine we talked about. You get documented credit decisions, which gives you this perfect, auditable paper trail for every single release. There's a built-in workflow engine for approvals. You can hook up to credit agencies in real time. And you can actually map out complex company structures to see the total credit exposure for an entire group of companies. I mean, come on, this is a night and day difference. And check this out. This is a perfect example of what's now possible. You can build these complex, multi-level approval workflows right inside the system. So you could set up a rule that says, hey, for a low-risk customer under 100 grand, one approval's fine. But for a high-risk customer over $1 million, that's got to go through 3 different levels of sign-off. That kind of smart, flexible, automated control was just a pipe dream in the old system. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Look, we know that migration is a mandatory technical task. You have to do it. But the real question you should be asking is this. Are you ready to use it as a strategic opportunity? Are you ready to take your credit department from being a simple back-office function and transform it into an intelligent, automated, and truly strategic partner for the entire business? Something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.